I mean, this news is the news we could absolutely not afford to get.
Once a giant, always a giant. For me, it's only a giant.
New York Giants, all pro left tackle Andrew Thomas. Looks like he's going to be out for the season. We heard some rumblings of it, and he is currently seeing a specialist to find out if he needs surgery, which it seems like he does, and then also how long he's going to be out. Now, it's likely going to be a season ending injury. I'm hearing some things, but I'm not going to say, exactly the specifics of the things until it's officially announced and until we all know exactly what's going on. But essentially, this injury is an injury that's going to keep him out for the entirety of the season. And this is really unfortunate. This is extremely unfortunate for the New York Giants because if we had any shot at all at coming back, being that team that could sneak back into the playoffs, even starting off 2-4, I felt like the team over a number of weeks has shown that they could possibly compete with anybody. So we competed with Seattle. We won that game. We pretty much outplayed Seattle that entire game. The Browns, we outplayed the Browns. The defense really rose to the occasion. So I'm thinking if Andrew Thomas can still be Andrew Thomas, Daniel Jones can, lightning can strike and Daniel Jones can play a couple of more good games. You got the running game heating up. You got Malik Neighbors coming back off an injury. You got Slayton kind of hitting his stride, and you got Wan'Dale Robinson being him, being himself. And you have so much that you can look forward to. But Andrew Thomas is the straw that stirs the drink. A lot of people said it was Saquon, and I've always kind of had that backlash of like, yes, Saquon is a dynamic player, but Andrew Thomas makes this team go. Andrew Thomas is by far, in my opinion, because we don't have that star quarterback, he's by far the most important player on the offense. Meaning, if you take Andrew Thomas away from this team, which is about to happen, we don't have a left tackle. And we don't have a left tackle that can even play solid football if you take him away. Now, Illuminor is going to be a guy who, what do you do there? Do you shift him to left tackle because he plays so well at right tackle and bring in Evan Neal to play right tackle? Or do you put Evan Neal in at left tackle because that's what he played in college and he's a guy that could possibly, step in and play left tackle and maybe he doesn't look horrible at left tackle. Maybe he looks more comfortable there. We've seen it with what's the guy's name? Penei Sewell. He came in and played right tackle and didn't look too good. Then they moved him to left tackle. He got comfortable and then he got that confidence and then they ended up moving him back to right tackle. But Evan Neal is a problem. Evan Neal is a problem. He has been a problem, and it makes no sense to think that anything is going to change. So moving on, besides just this injury, Daniel Jones has been really scarred the majority of his career. He got into this league with Nate Solder as his left tackle. So he had no trust in his blind side. You saw how many times he fumbled as a rookie. He has not had that fumbling issue since Nate Solder and Andrew Thomas weren't the worst left tackles in the NFL. As soon as Andrew Thomas became not the worst tackle in the NFL, the fumbles started to go away. But now, right now, Daniel Jones is not going to have any trust in his blind side, or if Illuminor falls, he's not going to have any trust in his right side. And we've seen how Daniel Jones plays. It's bad enough how he plays with Andrew Thomas on his blind side. Now we've got to deal with Daniel Jones possibly playing the rest of this season, not trusting either side or at least one of the sides. So this is bad news for the Giants. I would definitely say the season is all but over unless you get some superstar play from Daniel Jones and Malik Neighbors just becomes amazing, even more amazing than he is, to where he literally carries us to wins. It is tough sledding. Definitely tough sledding. Now, again, the move would be moving either Azudu to left tackle Evan Neal to left tackle or Illuminor to left tackle. Now, all of these guys, none of them are going to be an all-pro. None of them are going to be an all-pro. It's just that's just how it is. So once you have that in mind, it's going to change everything. It's going to change everything. We've finally been having a little bit of fun with this football team, and it's snatched away from us. And I knew something was going on with Andrew Thomas when he was struggling with Trey Hendrickson. Now, Trey Hendrickson, he's someone that had a bunch of sacks. Like he's an elite pass rusher or up there. I'd say he's like Brian Burns level pass rusher, which is a dominant pass rusher, but not like defensive player of the year kind of pass rusher. And he struggled so much with them that I was like, something has to be going on. Something absolutely has to be going on. And it seems like something was going on. So this is really, really unfortunate. Again, taking a look at this offense, we have been enjoying the Daniel Jones to Malik Nabers connection pretty much the entire year until, these last couple of weeks. I don't think that connection is going to be the same, especially on some of the routes that aren't just the stop routes. I was just waiting. I was just waiting to see Malik Nabers come back and Daniel Jones finally hit him on a go ball where he catches it and just gets behind the defense and just runs it in. But it just doesn't seem like that's going to happen. We've gotten some of the best pass protection that I've seen in years, in over a decade. I mean, Eli Manning didn't get this kind of pass protection for like the last 5 years of his career. And we have been getting some ridiculously good pass protection all until this is going to happen. I just don't think it'll be the same. Illuminor has been literally in the top 5 of right tackles in football for how well he's pass protected. And Andrew Thomas is always basically an immovable object at left tackle. You've had John Runyon playing well next to him. You've had Van Roten, who's got the chemistry with Illuminor. So then that makes you think about, should we move Illuminor because he's got that chemistry there and he's played so well. You basically don't have to worry about that side with him and Van Roten. And then you got John Michael Schmitz. He's not playing beside Andrew Thomas, but he is playing beside a guy who's playing beside Andrew Thomas. So again, as I've said 3 or 4 times, this is definitely going to be a huge loss. This isn't something that we're going to just be able to patch up. I think it's going to change the way we play football. I don't even know because it affects the run game and the pass game. This isn't just something that's going to affect the pass game. I think it'll affect that more, but it'll affect the run game and the pass game. Do you trust Ezeudu? Do you trust Evan Neal? Well, I think both are pretty solid run blockers, but do you trust them to be able to do what Andrew Thomas can do in the run game, which is he's very mobile, which is Ezeudu's mobile, but he's not he's not as stout. And when I say stout, I'm not talking about physically, I'm talking about mentally. He's not the same guy mentally as far as toughness goes as Andrew Thomas is. So it'll be interesting to see how that replacement plays. I've been hearing that it's Ezeudu, but I'm thinking that you got to throw Neal in there. You just got to see. Maybe he's better with Carmen Brasillo. Maybe he's a better player. But again, enjoy this offensive line play for the 6 weeks that we got it, because we're not going to see much more of it. We have the Eagles coming up. The Eagles, folks, the Eagles, who are struggling, but now are probably going to run all over the New York Giants. And I'm not talking about just running, as far as Saquon Barkley, but just they're going to easily be able to get pressure on this team. There's going to be a musical chairs kind of situation going on. And it's just in time again for the Eagles to dismantle us on Sunday Night Football. Or what am I talking about? See, this is what Andrew Thomas didn't block the random thoughts out of my head. Now I'm just saying Sunday Night Football. The Eagles are playing us this Sunday, not on Sunday Night Football, but they are probably going to beat us handily, because this offensive line is the only reason, literally the only reason, that this team has been able to be competitive on offense. And it's just a shame. So He's out for the season most likely. Thibodeau is out for now. Malik Neighbors is out. Singletary is out. Hopefully we get some of those guys back. But get well soon, Andrew Thomas. And this is just really horrible news for the New York Football Giants.